You're scared of being bored, and that's the truth. You can't sit in silence without feeling anxious. You always need something. Music, scrolling, talking to someone, you'll invite friends over. You might not even like the friends, but you just need to distract yourself. You need to distract your brain. But let me tell you something, bro. Boredom isn't your enemy. It's your test. And every time you run from boredom, you fail that test. Because a lot of people are afraid of boredom and they're afraid of silence. But my problem was that I couldn't sit in silence. Okay, I needed constant stimulation. I was always listening to music all day. I was scrolling YouTube, doing shorts, Instagram, TikTok. And then you start to notice and you start to become dependent upon this stuff and it starts to make you feel weak. And I'm sure you can relate to that. When was the last time you just sat down and did nothing? Did absolutely nothing. No music, no phone, no notifications, no none of that. You probably can't remember the last time you did that. Because in that silence, your mind, it starts talking. And it says things you don't like. And that's exactly why you're afraid of the silence. And most people never reach that peace because they fear silence and they fear the silence because it'll expose them. And that's the real reason why people hate silence and hate boredom, because it exposes their lack of direction. I remember the first times I tried sitting in silence. I was, meditating or whatever it was, but I would sit in silence after being, playing video games all day or being overstimulated with music or TikTok all day. And it just was the stupidest thing ever. I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I'm sitting here in silence. I'm not doing anything. I could be doing something more productive. And my brain was racing between thoughts. You see, boredom, it's the gym for your brain. Whenever you sit in silence, your brain, it gets stronger. And whenever you resist to urge to distract yourself, whenever you sit in the silence, it's sort of like doing a rep. Whenever you go to the gym and you do a rep, whenever your mind wanders and then you bring it back, that's one rep, and it makes your brain stronger. And the men who master boredom, they master themselves. And most men nowadays, they're slaves to the noise. And you need to become the one who can sit in the storm and smile, who can sit in the silence, and they can thrive in the silence. People nowadays can't go like 10 seconds, 10 minutes without their phone. And then you've slowly been conditioning your brain to sort of be this sponge of dopamine. You are doing all these, all these dopamine giving activities like bad dopamine, such as social media. And it's really turning your brain into a big sponge, and you're losing your focus each day you do this. And that's exactly what silence does. It sort of regains your focus back. Now, imagine this. You wake up one morning and you don't rush to grab your phone. You sit in the silence and you're calm. And then you walk outside and the world feels slower. You notice more things and you feel more in control. You look around, everyone else is panicking. They're chasing the stimulation, their next scroll. But you're unshakable because you've already mastered the calm and you master your brain. And that's the real power. Now, I want you to imagine this picture, okay? Like me, I'm outside right now. You can hear, you got mosquitoes flying around you. You can hear the birds chirping. You can see the leaves in the wind and you can hear it and it sounds amazing. Getting killed by fucking mosquitoes. But, I mean, this just feels real, it just sort of builds your soul back. It builds your mental because nowadays we're so inclined to just be on our phone and just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And it steals your focus. And it steals away from times like these whenever you can just look around and look at the trees. If I've been describing you in this video, I have a quick solution for you and for me and for everyone else watching this video. So start small and 5 minutes of silence every single morning. No distractions, just you and your thoughts. And let the boredom come in. And it's going to suck and it's going to be painful, but don't fight it. Because boredom is exactly the doorway to your clarity. And once you're in this boredom and it starts to feel uncomfortable, that's how you know you're doing it right. I used to wake up and I would instantly grab my phone and, start scrolling or start doing shit I probably wasn't supposed to. You'd scroll, you'd end up seeing some shit, and then you'd end up doing some bad things. Like if you see like a girl shaking her ass on Instagram, it doesn't start your morning off. Especially if you act bad on it, you give in to your temptation. It starts the morning off bad. And if you lose your morning, you lose the entire day. Fucking mosquito just gave me a hickey. There's a reason why the monks do this and the warriors of the past did this. They trained their minds to sit in silence, and they knew that stillness was where truth was found. And if you could sit with your boredom, bro, you can handle anything, honestly. It's that important, and it's become that much of a problem nowadays. And that's what separates the strong from the weak today. Everyone's addicted to movement, but the real warriors are calm amidst the storm where everyone is overstimulated. Here's what most people don't know. Boredom isn't even real. You might be like, what the hell are you saying? Boredom is just resistance, and it's your brain trying to escape the moment because it knows silence brings the truth out of you. And the truth, that's the real scary part. You're not even scared of boredom, you're scared of the truth. But once you face your truth head on, you stop fearing boredom forever. Sort of like a superpower. And the moment I realized that boredom was really just avoidance, it wasn't that I wasn't bored, It's just that I was scared to be alone with my thoughts. And I'm sure you guys feel this exact same way. Every time you resist temptation and distraction, you grow stronger. And every time you sit in silence, you get closer to peace. And then eventually, slowly, people will start to notice. And they'll see that calm in your eyes. That's your stillness, and that's power. And then they'll wonder what you've done differently. But you'll know you trained your mind where no one else dared to go. You sat in the silence. And that's exactly what the power of silence does. And I realized this way too late. I didn't have silence for about the first 16 years of my life. I hated silence. And I'm sure you guys are the exact same. Overstimulation ruled in your brain. But this is exactly how silence changes you. What I want you to get from this video, and to sort of think about whenever this video is done, is to stop fearing boredom. Because boredom is the beginning of your mastery. And if you can't sit alone with yourself, you'll never truly know yourself. Subscribe.